This city should not exist. A civilization so advanced, so rich, so powerful, that even today historians still argue, how did they do this? Thousands of years ago? Before Rome, before Greece, before the pyramids became ruins, there was Babylon, and what you are about to see was not supposed to survive history, but it did. The desert was silent. No engines, no cities, no satellites in the sky. Only wind, sand, and a river that changed human destiny forever, the Euphrates. From this river rose a city that would rewrite civilization. A city of gold, knowledge, mathematics, law, architecture, and mystery. A city whose walls were so massive that travelers believed giants had built them. This was not just a city. This was Babylon. Imagine standing in the middle of endless desert, and suddenly out of the fog, you see it. Massive stone walls rising from the sand, blue gates glowing under the sun, golden banners dancing in the wind. A city so large, so organized, that it looked unreal. Travelers thought they were hallucinating, but it was real, very real. At the heart of Babylon stood its legendary entrance, the Ishtar Gate, a giant blue wall of glazed bricks, covered in lions, dragons, and sacred symbols. Not decoration, power. Each animal was a message. You are entering the capital of the world. The gate towered above men like a mountain of blue fire, and behind it, the greatest city on earth, Babylon, was alive. Markets overflowing with spices, gold, silks, perfumes, children running through stone streets, merchants shouting prices, musicians playing ancient melodies, scribes writing on clay tablets, recording history, math, laws. This was not primitive. This was organized civilization. Babylon had written law, tax systems, libraries, schools, medical knowledge, advanced architecture, astronomy. When much of the world was still hunting, Babylon was calculating star movements. Babylonian astronomers mapped planets, predicted eclipses, measured time. They invented 60-minute hours, 60-second minutes, 360-degree circles. Yes, your clock, your geometry, your calendar all came from Babylon. At the center stood the royal palace. White stone, golden doors, water fountains, palm gardens. Kings walked on marble floors while the world still lived in mud huts. The most famous of them, King Nebuchadnezzar II, the man who transformed Babylon into a superpower. He wanted the city to look like heaven on earth. And that is when he built something so impossible that even today people argue, did it really exist? High above the city rose terraces of green, not fields, not farms, but vertical gardens built in the sky, water flowing uphill, exotic plants from distant lands, palm trees hanging over stone balconies. These were the hanging gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. A living miracle, but Babylon's greatest beauty would also become its greatest weakness, because a city this powerful creates enemies. And soon, the sky would turn dark, fire would rise, and history would try to erase Babylon forever. They were not supposed to exist. Stone terraces rising like a green mountain above Babylon. Trees growing where no soil should survive. Water flowing upward against gravity. No machines, no electricity. Yet, Babylon made rivers climb into the sky. The hanging gardens were not decoration. They were technology disguised as beauty. Hidden inside the walls were spiral pumps, an ancient hydraulic system that lifted water from the Euphrates up through the terraces. Long before modern engineers invented water elevators, Babylon already had them, a silent machine that never stopped. Flowing day and night, water feeding vines, fruit trees, palms, and flowers from across the empire. This was not magic. This was engineering, and it terrified the ancient world. Nebuchadnezzar did not build the gardens for power. He built them for love. His queen came from green mountains. She hated the desert, so he brought her mountains. He built her a floating forest in the sky, a city that could reshape nature itself. Every trade route passed through Babylon. Gold from Egypt, spices from India, silk from the East. Copper, silver, perfumes, stones, everything flowed through this city. Babylon controlled the economy of the ancient world, and power creates enemies. Inside ziggurats and temples, priests and scholars studied the stars. They wrote charts predicting lunar eclipses. They measured time. They tracked planets. Babylon did not worship chaos. They worshipped calculation. They believed the universe ran on numbers. And they were right. Rising above Babylon stood the great ziggurat, a pyramid-like tower, each level closer to the heavens. At the top, a sacred chamber. People believed the gods descended there, but beneath the myth was scientific observation. The ziggurat was also a massive observatory. Babylon watched the sky like a laboratory watches chemicals. Then, the sky began to change. Storm clouds rolled in. Rivers rose. Foreign armies whispered. Babylon's enemies were gathering, and no empire lasts forever. The city that controlled time, stars, and trade was about to face its greatest test. Fire would soon touch the Hanging Gardens. The Ishtar Gate would tremble, and Babylon would begin to fall. Babylon had ruled for centuries. Its walls had never been broken. Its gates had never fallen. Its towers had never trembled. But one night, the wind changed. Dark clouds rolled over the Euphrates. Thunder shook the towers. The moon disappeared behind smoke. And far beyond the desert, an army began to move. They did not come screaming. They came silently. Persian forces gathered beyond the horizon, disciplined, organized, and patient. They had studied Babylon's defenses. They knew its weaknesses. They knew its pride. Babylon believed its walls were invincible. They were wrong. Babylon was protected by the Euphrates River. It flowed through the city like a living wall. But the Persians did something unthinkable. They diverted the river. They dug channels far upstream. And when the water level dropped, a hidden path appeared beneath Babylon's gates. The greatest city on earth was now exposed. While Babylon celebrated a festival, the Persians entered. No alarms, no resistance, no warning. By morning, the gates were theirs. The palace was burning. The temples were collapsing. Babylon had fallen in a single night. Statues were shattered. Libraries were destroyed. Clay tablets burned. Knowledge that shaped time itself vanished in smoke. The Hanging Gardens were abandoned. The Ishtar Gate was looted. The ziggurat stood silent. Empires rose on top of its ruins. Time buried its streets in sand. And the city that once ruled the world became a legend. But Babylon's story was not finished, because its secrets were still waiting, buried, hidden, and about to be rediscovered. They did not just conquer Babylon, they tried to erase it. New rulers dismantled its temples. New kings rewrote its history. New empires used its stones to build their own cities. Babylon was too powerful to be remembered, because remembering Babylon meant remembering that civilization had once been greater than their own. So its name slowly faded. Its libraries disappeared. Its streets were buried. The Hanging Gardens became a mystery. And the Ishtar Gate became a rumor. But Babylon did not vanish completely. It hid beneath the sand. For centuries, travelers walked over buried streets without knowing what lay beneath their feet. Then one day, broken bricks emerged from the dunes. Strange blue tiles, carved lions, a forgotten wall, and slowly, Babylon began to return. Archaeologists uncovered gates, temples, and palace walls. They found clay tablets that recorded laws, star charts, medical treatments, and mathematics. Babylon was not primitive. Babylon was scientific. Babylon was organized. Babylon was advanced. Everything modern civilization depends on: time measurement, mathematics, law codes, astronomy, they all trace back here. Your clock still counts Babylonian time. Your geometry still uses Babylonian degrees. Your calendars still follow Babylonian math. Babylon never disappeared. It became invisible.